It's Bella Gold.
Wow, it's really exciting, and I'm learning so much. I hope we are jotting. I have my book here, I have my pen, and I have my recorder, so I can always listen to Mr. Biodun whenever I want to, because it's like it's hot. All right, so let's get to know you personally.
Okay. My name is Awoliyi Biodun once again.
Okay.
I am the state manager for Smedan, Ogun State. I head the state. I'm married. I've got kids. Don't ask me how many. I've got kids. Because the truth of the matter, like I told you, the motto of my household is big enough to contain you, span enough to reach you. So I've got kids.
Can I be one?
Well, that's a personal decision that you would have to answer yourself by the time we go to that bridge. We'll cross it. All right. So I'm a Christian. I love music. I love talking. I love cooking. I cook a lot. Don't ask me how many food, but I cook a lot. I love meeting people. My personal watchword is whenever I meet a person, I want to leave a lasting impression on that person, and so that when the person looks back and say, "Oh, I met someone today. His name is Mr. Biodun. Oh, the man touched me," and that's what I work with, And so when I meet people who says they are frustrated about Nigeria, they do not like the way Nigeria is, I ask them one question: what have you done for Nigeria? Not what can Nigeria do for you? Because we have forgotten one thing: without us, there is no Nigeria. We always see it the other way around. That Nigeria is an entity, yes, but we make the entity stand. And so when people say, "Oh, you're too passionate about Nigeria," oh yeah, there was a time I wanted to travel out of the country too. But I think sheer faith did not let me go. Maybe because I know that there's something here in this country for me. And see, that's the first thing. You need to have that belief. You need to have that mindset that say, no, there's something in this country. It's a reason. God could have created me and given me to one Chinese man and given birth to in China, or given birth to me in the US or somewhere in Europe. But he brought me to Nigeria, Africa. Have you ever seen a map of Africa before? If you look at the map of Africa, Nigeria is a trigger line. Nigeria is a trigger line. And so if I am a trigger to make other people ripple, why should I leave that spot? So my passion for Nigeria is not because I'm just a Nigerian. My passion for Nigeria is because I know there's a reason for me being a Nigerian. And until I get that particular reason, I cannot leave it. Over passionate is working on me in Nigeria, So I do not see anything wrong most times. I only just see challenges. I don't see them wrong. I call them challenges because every challenge is always looking for a solution.
Okay, so for someone that wants to walk a career path, someone that wants to be like you, what would you advise? And what was the career path you took from your primary? What was it like to this?
A lot of times I used to laugh at myself. Because when growing up and they ask, what would you like to be in future? I tell them teacher. And they look at me and say, this one doesn't even have a life ambition. Everybody wants to be a banker, a lawyer, a doctor. And like I said, I'm from a very large family. My father was a legal practitioner. I have like 8 lawyers in my family line. Just from my father alone. And I told myself, why must I be like all of them? So when I told someone I wanted to be a teacher, and they looked at me like, are you alright? How much do teachers make? But that's not the thing. It still boils down to the fact I said, my person wants to leave a lasting expression in every person I meet. And what do teachers do? They leave something in every child's mind, be it good or bad. That's the life of a teacher. I might not be in a classroom all the time because I'm always in the classroom. I might not be in a normal institution personalized class, but I teach every day. I teach. Presently, I know I have gotten under my belt over 5,100 students so far on entrepreneurship. Because that's where I found myself. I'm still teaching, but not in an institution, but in an organization. You understand? So, for anyone who wants to go through my career path, the first thing must discover yourself. If you wake me up in the middle of the night and ask me questions, I must have an answer. If I do not have an answer for you at that particular time, I tell myself, please give me a few minutes. I could even walk into a toilet and go to my phone and just quickly Google, read through, and I come back rejuvenated and I come to answer you as if this is what I do, you know? And so, for you to go through my path as an educator, that's what I see myself as an educator. You must have that passion. You must be ready to meet people. You must be ready to express yourself. And you must be ready to learn.
Okay, wait, Mr. Awoliyi, enough of the smiles. You mean you actually went through primary school, secondary school, then at the point of JAM, you bought the JAM form,
yes,
and you filled education,
yes,
on the form,
yes,
to become a teacher.
Yes, I studied business education from the University of Lagos.
Okay.
And I came out with a distinction.
And it went well with your family. Everybody's cool about it.
That's the thing about my family. My father, like I told you from the outset, my father would tell you, it's a watchword for him. Let that child do what he or she wants to do. Are you getting it? You know, so it's him, because my parents were not forcing me, they guided me. You know, when I wanted to be a teacher, I thought I was going to go into the arts and teach as an artist, because I was an art student. I love drawing, I love painting. I always want to create something. And I can only create these things either with my hand, with what I say, and I'm still creating. You understand? And so it has been a passion. And when I did it, nobody in my household said, oh, your mates are doctors, you are big. No. At the end of the day, I found myself in Sweden, the Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agency of Nigeria, and I am still teaching. You know?
You really love teaching?
Take me anywhere. I will teach. Once I get into that atmosphere, everything around me changes. And I can continue to talk and lecture and teach for hours unrested without me feeling the strain. You know, because it is a passion. It is a vision. And it is a goal of me trying to put that lasting expression in every person that I meet. You know, and so every day, that is what propels me. You must go out with your goals. You must go out with your vision. You must go out with your passion. You know, so without that, in Nigeria, if you do not have those, you will run away from these professions.
Okay, because teaching has always been a feminine thing, like, so to say. So how did you cope? I'm sure you had about 80% of females.
You see, the truth here, in Nigeria, it's just it's something of, when you say it's females per se, it's condition that made most of them go into that line. I can bet you if you ask 1, 2 out of 10 teachers that when growing up, did you ever touch yourself being a teacher? I can tell you, most of them will say no. It was just condition that brought some people back to where they were supposed to find themselves. And some are still not fulfilled in that line because they have not discovered themselves yet. You understand? See, fulfillment for me is you discovering who you are. And once you've discovered who you are, right, you feel fulfilled. You can see a lot of bankers who are doing a job, but they're not fulfilled in that line because that's not where they're supposed to be. Until they discover themselves. I tell people, a lot of us haven't yet discovered ourselves. We just find ourselves in situations and in jobs where condition and life, path just pushes us to. You understand? Discover yourself. Know who you are. Once you discover yourself, then you'll be fulfilled in whatever you find yourself in.
Wow, it's really been an amazing time. Discover yourself, know who you are. So I'm rediscovering myself. Yeah, let me use that word, rediscovering myself at this point. And I'm sure you are too. And peradventure you're not. Sit down and get a notebook. I have one here actually. And I'm going to jot very soon. I'm really jotting everything Mr. Biodun is saying right now to me, because the husband man is the first party cat. Alright, so let's talk about patriotism. Mr. Biodun loves Nigeria like in fact, I can just say, I'll call him Mr. Nigeria actually. Everyone is jackpotting, everyone is buying flight ticket, everyone is selling off properties, but Biodun saying, no, we are here, there is something here. So let's find out what is that thing he knows about this country that you and I don't know, so that he can tell us and we'll be able to, tour that path and discover that wealth.
Alright. Yes, you want to jackpot. Nobody wants hard life. Let's be realistic with ourselves.
Hard life. Do you understand? But the truth of the matter is this. Being patriotic is a statement that says, what have you done for your country? A lot of people do not understand something. We run out of this country every day.
But we get to the airport and we see the inflow of foreigners coming back into a country where we say is bad. So what are they coming for? It's so funny that when I meet an average youth here in Nigeria and they tell me they want to jackpot, where are you from? He says, let's say he tells me Ogun State.
Okay.
And when he says Ogun State, I ask the question, what do they have in Ogun State? Most of them, you just look at you like, oh, we don't have anything in our state, Jerry. But the truth is, a lot of us don't even know what we have. A lot of us don't know.
Okay, so you're taking me back to my state now?
Yes, the question is this. Nigeria, like I said, is a trigger point. And the trigger point is loaded. Because the trigger point is what forces the bullet in a gun to shoot. So the trigger point is where the load is. Right? And until you clip on it, before all the force comes out, what exactly do we have in our country? Solid minerals. We've got them. You see, I just laugh. Of recent, a podcast came online where Mustafa, the former CSO to the late head of state, Bacha, said that what we have in Nigeria, if well resourced as mine, and we shouldn't be poor. He said we've got a solid mineral called euphonium, and in the international market, a gram of it will go for as high as $22,000.
Wait, is that found in my state?
Oh no!
Okay.
Unfortunately, it might be, but the truth is, we've not done mining to that point in Nigeria. Now, places in the north have all these things. There's gold, there's diamond in Nigeria. There's some solid minerals we have in Nigeria that it will blow your mind that if even these youths decide and hold their leaders accountable, they can get these things mined and we would have so much. You see, I keep saying, go back home. Going back home doesn't say travel back to your village. That's not what I'm saying. Go back home is you understanding where you're from, your genetics, your generational history, right? You see, we've got so many things in Nigeria that we have not tapped into. We've got, there's no soil in Nigeria that you can plant on. We've got space for farming. We've got space. You see, it pains me when everybody is saying jackpot, 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 and run out of the country. If we all run out, who will develop the country where we're running?
Okay, so like my state in the east, we have, what do we have? We have River Niger.
Okay.
We have Palm Canal. Okay, those ones are pronounced.
All right. So you see, when I say go back to your hometown and pick out, my agency is running a program called One Local Government, One Product. All up. One local government, one product. This is something that makes you go back home and check, what do we have in my locality that can be exported? A lot of people do not know that palm oil is a byproduct of so many things.
Like what?
There's no body cream. There's no chocolate. There's no beauty, name it. There's no baby food. There's no, just to mention a few, that palm oil is not a byproduct of. But the problem is this. Here in Nigeria, we only want to plant. We do not want to add value. Value addition creates a better chain. Right? Now, places like Ondo State have cocoa in hectares of land, space like that. But how many of these youth want to go back? How many of us wants to go back to tilling this line? Hard work pays.
How do we get the money?
Now, like I said, the money is available, but we are not holding those who have them accountable.
So how do you?
I use the word, yes. The money is available, but we are not holding those who are with it accountable. A lot of times we all complain that the president is bad, and we do not look at the governors. We do not look at the local government chairman. We do not even look at our councillors.
I don't know my councillor.
That's because you hardly go back home. You see, at the stage where it comes to community and development or nation development, you need to ask yourself questions. Who are we putting in this space? What are their backgrounds? What are their plans for us? Do we just be people who every 4 years give us 2,500 naira a year to vote them into spaces like that? You see, when you call a councillor, this is somebody who lives within your community. This is somebody you know his father's house, you know his mother's house, you know his brothers, you should be able to hold them accountable. You're going to represent us. This is what we need. The government has made provisions for all these things. Monies that they come and flash around to you at the end of the year is your money because you pay tax. Whether direct or indirectly. Okay? And so you need to ask questions. An average Nigerian doesn't even know, like you said now, you don't even know your councillor. Talk about saying you know your governor, or talk about saying you know your local government chairman.
So we don't have access to these people.
Not that you don't have, you've forgotten one thing. Okay. These people came out from your community.
Yes.
So how would you tell me you don't know the person that came out from your community?
I mean having access after elections.
No. He is from your community at first. You know his parents. You see, you hold them responsible. Thank God for social media. You go online, talk about these people. Do not let them use money to suck your mouths. And at the end of the day, they will say, don't worry, I'll give you 100,000 and you too, you feel like. A lot of times, I look at our talks and I look at our political circuit, and they use other people's children to go and fight. What about their own children? What happens to them? Are you getting it? These are your people in your community. You voted them in. If they do not do well, you can recall them. An average Nigerian does not even know the Constitution. If I vote you in and you're not representing our community well, we can bring you back home and say we are not voting for you again.
Don't say because I'm not of that party.
No,
Don't turn it to a
you do
party.
not need, whether a party or not, all you need is an application.
To who?
You could write, you see, every local government has a parliament where a councillor represents you, and every local government in the state is being represented in the state's House of Assembly. Do you understand? So if I have Mr. So and it's not doing well for my community, and I can bring 1, 2, 3, or 10, or say 50% together to say Mr. A and B is not doing well, we don't want him there again, you recall them.
Really?
Yes. It's in the constitution.